Hello and welcome to today's tutorial on Skeleton CSS Boilerplate. So we are going to make this beautiful, very simple and easy web page using Skeleton. So let's just take a look at this. We have the nav bar here, we have this part, and we have this button, we have this image here. So this is using grid system, which Skeleton provides for us in a very easy way. Then we have just a very simple table. It's just for example, for showing how Skeleton helps us with tables. Then we have a very simple and nice form, and also this image here. You can see this is also highly responsive, so if we go to this mobile view, you can see this. So easy. But we have made this using Skeleton. What is a skeleton? Well, a skeleton, you can go to this website, getskeleton.com. It's a dead simple responsive boilerplate. It is not a UI framework like Bootstrap, Material, Bulma, Tailwind and others. It's so quick to start, no compiling or installing. It's very light and fast. It doesn't provide you with lots of options like Bootstrap does, or Material does. It doesn't provide you with margins or with padding stuff. It's just very simple. So you will see. Now it uses grid system based on 12 column fluid grid with this max width. And let's see how to make these grids here. So first of all, you can use a container class to put your web page, the contents, in a container centered wrapper like this. And once you've done that, columns should be the immediate child of a row. If you want to have columns like this, you need to start with a class row, like this is a row, and inside that row you can specify that this div, for example, should occupy 11 parts, 11 columns, and this div's 1 column, because it's about 12 columns. So here, for example, we have div class 1 space column, 1 out of 12, and another div class 11 columns. So this one will occupy 1 column, this one 11 columns. You can also have some other ways. For example, div class 1/3 column, it means 1/3 of 12, that is 4 columns. And the second div occupies 2/3 column, that is 8 columns. Or if you want to divide them equally in 2 parts, you can have 1/2 column and 1/2 column. So this is what happens, like this one, you can see 1/2, 1/2. So, or 6 column, 6 column, it's the same. Then we have typography. It uses Railway served by Google. Very nice simple font and all HTML stuff here. So like strong M for italic, A tag and underlined. Then buttons, very simple buttons with these subtle hover effects. So every button will get these styles. If you want to have some color like blue, you can add button primary class to it. If you want to have an anchor tag, like an A tag, also as a button like this, you can simply add a class button to it. It will be like this. All input type submits will have this shape, and if you want another input to be like a button, you can give it a type button. And these are, of course, you can see button primary, and this is the color. Forms are a huge pain, and that is true. It is so easy to style them like this using Skeleton. What you need to do is to have a form tag, of course. Then you can have a row, and inside that row, like this is a row, for example, you can have this one occupying 1/2 column, this one occupying 1/2 column, or 6 columns, you see. So this is occupying 6 columns, that is for the email, and the select tag is also occupying 6 columns, so 6 columns. This one, however, occupies full width. For that, you can use this class, uFullWidth. And what else? Lists are like so, nothing special. Code tag, nothing. For tables, you have a table with a class of uFullWidth, just if you want it to have full width. Then you need to have a t-head like this, and a tr, then ths like this, a t-body for the body, and then trs. I have two trs here, well, one tr here, t-row, one table row here, and then there are tds, that is table data. And now media queries. If you want to change the queries, you can always use @media, and you can give a min or max width. So if you want special styles to be applied, if the screen is larger than 400 pixel, you can use min width. If you want some special styles to apply, if the screen is smaller, you can use max width. Then you have these utility classes here. uFullWidth we talked about, uMaxFullWidth. And for floating, that we are going to use actually for the menu and logo. So logo will be on the right and the left, and menu would be on the right. So we use uPullRight, and it floats it right automatically. uPullLeft will put the logo to left, and after that you need to clear a float. Once you're done with the float, you need to clear it so that the other items, next items, will not be affected. So that's a very quick and general overview of this. Now let's get to our code sandbox. So I'm using codesandbox.io. You don't even need to sign up, but please do. This is great. Let's see what happens. If I create a sandbox, I can have access to all these applications. So I want to create a static website. That's what I choose now. And this is what I get. We have an index.html file, and as soon as you try to change this here, for example, I say, I don't know, Vahid, and if I Control S, that is save it, you can see it happens here. If I want to have a new window, I can simply click on open new window, and I have this window. Now let's add a style sheet as well here. Let's call it styles.css, and we need to link our styles.css to our HTML. So inside our HTML, right above the title, right here, let me pull this here. Here let's type in link, and you can see the emmet comes to help us. If I press tab, I have this, and I can simply have styles.css. Now I'm linked. Now another thing we need is the CDN of Skeleton so that we can use it. So we can go to cdnjs.com and find Skeleton CDN, and simply copy link tag, go back to your code sandbox, and just paste it right under the meta tags here. Now you can see the font has already changed. Nice. Okay, so let's get to it now. So the first thing we need to do is, what was it, like this one. So this is going to be a row. So we are going to have a row, and then we're going to float this to left and float this to right. So let's do that here. First of all, let's have a container. And the container is going to put everything right here in the center. So all the items in our page are going to be under a container now. Now let's have a row for the nav bar, and let's just call it nav as well. So now we have div class row and nav, and then inside that we need to have a logo, so like a p tag, class of logo. Now I need to give it a class now. For floating left, we had uPull-left to put it to the left. But what is the text inside it? Let's just say it's logo. Another item is going to be a list of menu items, so an unordered list. So ul dot, what is the class? U dash pull dash right. We're going to pull it to right, that is a float right. If I press tab, I have this with the class, and inside this we need to have, let's say, 3 items. So li multiplied by 3 tab, I have 3 list items now. The first one is going to be home, the second one is going to be about, and the last one is going to be contact. I'm not turning them into a tag. Now you see we have them already here. Look, if I refresh, awesome, so easy. Now that we have used floats to float this one left and right, we need to clear the float so that the other items are not affected by this float. So let's just create some empty div after the list here, and let's just call it, well, let's give it a class of u-cf for clear float, and nothing happens, but this is good now. So if we want to change this unordered list, we need to go to our style.css and do it ourselves. Skeleton doesn't provide everything you need. It's not like Bootstrap. So you need to do some styling yourself. So let's just have a ul. I don't want any list style for our ul. That is, I don't want these dots here. So if I save this now, you see none. You see it's gone now. And let's display it also as flex. Why? Because I want them to be horizontal. Now if I save this, you see, horizontal. Now the LIs are so close to each other. Let's give them some margin left. So down here, li margin left. Let's say 1 rem. It must be okay. Yeah, good. So we have that as well. Now I need some space from top and bottom, so, and that was our nav. It was a class nav. So let's say padding top and bottom, let's say, I don't know, 2 rem for top and bottom and 0 for left and right. Now you see there is some space here, and here as well. If I refresh this, you see, good. Now we need this one here. So we need this part, a left part and a right part. The left part contains these and the right part contains this. So we need to have a row. So this is going to be a row, and the row is going to have 2 columns. This 1/2, this 1/2. Let's do that now. Let's go to our index.html again, and outside this nav, but it's still inside the container, I'm going to have another row. I'm going to call it now hero as well. So 2 class names. And now inside this, we need to have a left column and a right column. So let's say the first one on the left, it should have half, 1/2, actually 1/2, and then column. Also, let's just call it left. So we have this div with the class of 1/2 column. So it occupies 1/2 of the page, and I've just called it left as well for styling it later. Inside that, we can have an h1, like I'm Vahid, an h3 for a web developer, and let's just also have a button like contact me. Now if I save this, look what happens here. Awesome, so easy, so beautiful, right? And this is only occupying half the page. Nice, nice. Okay, now let's deal with also with the right one. So underneath this div, so this is the left one, we need to have another 1/2, so 1/2 and column, and let's give it also another class of right. So what should be in there? An image. The image I get from, let's say, copy the image address here, and let's paste it here. But if I save this, you see it's super big. You see it's too big now. But of course, half a page here. Now I need to set the width of this div, that is right, 100%, and the image inside it also to 100%. So I go to my CSS, style of CSS here, and I would say set the width of the right to 100%, but that is not enough. I want also in the right, look for the image and set the width of that image also to 100%. Now if I save, you see, awesome, and if I refresh, you see, nice. So the only thing is that I need some space from the top, so I want to put this one a bit here, so give it some padding. This was left, right? No, left. So left is going to have a padding top of, let's say, 5 rem, for example. Let's see. Yeah, that is okay. So this is okay, but the mobile view, I want to change the mobile view. That is, when in mobile view, I want this to be in the center, like text align should be center. And I also need some space under this. So I need to use media query. I would say at media, and give it a max width so that any width is smaller than this, then let's say 600 pixels. These styles that are right here should apply whenever the width of the screen is less than 600. So this left is one of them. So I would say left text align, so I'm going to put the text align to center only if, look, only if the width is less than 600. It doesn't affect this one, so if I refresh, nothing changes because the width is more. Now I also need some space down here, so let's just give it some padding bottom as well. Padding bottom, come on, as well, like 3 rem. If I save this, yeah, it's better now. Nice, you see? So okay, now that we're done with this one, you see nothing changes here. Let's also get to table, which is how to make tables using Skeleton. Now let's go to our index.html, and here underneath this div, the one, this is for container again, let's have a table. So the table, let's create a row first, and then inside the row let's have a table, and the table is going to occupy full width. So we would say u-full-width, and that table is going to have a head, of course, so t head, and the t head is going to have a row, that is one row, and also some data, that is th. So the first data should be something like, I don't know, name. Let's create 2 more, name, address, and website. So these are going to be the head. So let's see, you see, we already have them. Now what about the t body? So underneath t head, we need to have a t body. Inside the t body, let's have one row first, and that row is going to contain some t data. And t data, well, name should be here, Vahid, for example, address, let's say Amsterdam, and the website vahid.co, for instance, something like that. Now you see we have this table here. Cool. So if I refresh this, and I have this table, but we need some margin top and bottom as well. So what we need to do is give this class another class actually of, I don't know, let's just call it table, and inside this CSS right above the media query we can say table margin equals, let's say, 7 rem top and bottom and 0 from left and right. So now it's a bit, yeah, more distance. Nice. Now let's have this beautiful contact form and an image here. So we need to have one row, like one whole row. Inside that row, we can have this form to occupy one half and this image to occupy one half. Let's do that inside our index.html, again before the last div. Let's create a row, and the row is going to have one form, and that form is going to occupy one half, well, column, actually, column. Nice. And then underneath this, let's have what was that? Let's have an input field. So input field type text. Let's say yeah, because we need to have another row actually here as well. Let me tell you why. So let's have an h5 for the title of this form, which is contact form, like so, and under that let's have another div, because when you want to specify columns, they should be directly under rows. So we need to specify another row. Underneath that row, we need to have several columns. The one should be the input field. Input field tag type text, name, ID. We don't need this anyways. And let's just give it a placeholder of name here. Another one should be a type number, for example phone number. So let's just call it phone number here, and give them a class, of course. What kind of class? We want this to occupy half, so class equals 1/2 column. And the same class should go also to this one, that is number. If I save this, and if I go back and refresh, I see this nice thing happens here. Cool. Now let's have another one for submit button. So, oh, actually for text area now, for the message part. So text area, and the text area should have a class again. And that class should be full width now. So full width. If I save this, if I go back and refresh, you see this nice form, so simple to style this. Yeah, we can also give it some placeholder as well, like your message here. Very simple, nice. And then let's have also an input field, of course, a button down below. So like here we can have an input field submit button. Let's save and go back, and you do not see anything here because okay, yeah, let's have this underneath actually. This, let's go back and refresh, and this is what we have. Let me zoom in. You can see very, very nice and simple. Okay, now let's have our image here as well to the right. So for that image, we are outside the form, but still inside that div, which has divided that place into two. And you can see very nice also form here. So for that, let's just call it, well, it should be 1/2 again, of course, 1/2 column. And let's call it letter as well. So 1/2 of column. Remember, the form occupied half of it, and now this div with the letter occupies another half, and it contains an image. Where is that image? This one. So let's just copy image address, and you will see again the same problem of image happens. It will be too big, you see. So what we need to do, we need to, in the style sheet, go to the letter, set the width to 100%, just like something we did in the hero, and then letter image, that is the image inside the letter, also should have the same width of 100%. And you see now it's super nice and easy. Look how beautiful, awesome. Now the only thing is the color of this. So what is the color? So the color of the page is here, actually background color of the body. So right up there, let's go to our body tag, and this is going to be the background color, and also the color of the font should be white. And look, awesome, highly responsive, very easy to make. How was that? I hope you liked it and you learned something. And don't forget please to subscribe and like the video, and also leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching and listening.